Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday morning, so you know it's time for another live edition of the Extra Point. We got Michigan Mike in the house today. What's going on, Michigan Mike? Long time no see.
Yeah, happy to be back. What's going on, everyone?
Happy to have you back. You know, when you see this guy's face on the screen, that we're getting close to football season. Our resident football guru is back in the house. We got a ton of NFL and college football to get to today, Mike. But first, we want to get a word from our sponsor. We are sponsored by May Janes Coffee. That's MAEJANES coffee.com. Make sure you check out that website. Make sure you get all of your coffee needs there. And we are also brought to you by
Wolverine Comics. That's Wolverine underscore Comics TX. We buy, sell, trade, and all things comics. So just let me know. Hit me up if you want to talk.
All right, make sure you hit that man up. You see where to follow him. You see him with the 598 followers. Let's get that up to 15,000. Make sure you tell a friend and get your deal on. Mike, I've been waiting a long time for this. It's time to talk some football. And last Sunday,
Yeah.
I was
Fantasy's
just
back too.
right. I was sitting there minding my own business, and then bam! I look on Twitter and I see my man D Hop is trending for signing with the Tennessee Titans. So I had to come out with my Tennessee Titans gear today. I'm in a great mood about that. Yes, we are back, at least in my opinion. Now, he officially signed his deal on Wednesday. It's a 2-year, $26 million deal. Mike, let me start with you from a financial standpoint. Did the Titans overpay for DeAndre Hopkins?
Yes, but it seems like they were trying to make a statement of like we're gonna keep and we're gonna bring in some talent. We don't matter what it costs, which is kind of what they needed in the past couple years.
Right. Yeah, we overpaid because if you look at the market, it was really just a two-team race. We didn't hear many people enter the fray when he became a free agent earlier this spring. And if you're the Titans, you finished 30th in receiving last year. You had the 30th ranked wide receiver group. You had zero experience coming in. Everybody knows about the A.J. Brown trade that got the GM fired last year. So, I mean, if you DeAndre Hopkins, you had all the leverage over Tennessee. Tennessee could not afford to not sign him and go into this season with Traylon Burks as their number one receiver. That just wasn't going to work. Now, Mike, which is most likely in your opinion? That this move puts the Tennessee Titans back in the AFC South race, or is this Julio Jones 2.0? Which do you think will be more likely in for this year for the Titans?
That's tough because I think this division is still kind of finicky there. I mean,
No,
there's no really
I think the
standout.
word that you like to use is boo boo.
Yeah. This division is pretty boo boo. So I could definitely see the Titans winning. Um, I mean, they also have King Henry, right? So it's not like it's a horrible team. The only problem I have is a quarterback, and you've known that. And we heard from Tasha last week. We're on the same page. So,
No, okay, so
um,
no, let's hold on. Let me bring down D Hop because I want to see the whites of your eyes on this. Now, what is your issue with Ryan Tannehill? So yeah, we heard Tasha last week, but the people need to hear directly from you. What's your issue with Tannehill?
I don't think it's the wide receivers aren't the issue. I think you could have the
Wow.
best. You could have the best receivers out there. You could have Randy Moss in prime out there, and he's gonna be like in the end zone. Like, can you throw it to me, please? Um, I think it's the quarterback. We got to get. I mean, we're gonna see. I think Levis is gonna start by the end of this season.
So you don't think that Ryan Tannehill will finish the season as the Tennessee Titans starter?
No, I don't
Injury
think so.
aside, you think he'll just be benched and replaced?
I think so. I've been watching Levis's workouts, the unofficial workouts that he's been doing, and he has an arm on him, and I
Yeah.
like how quick he can get to the opposite side of the field with his throws. And I haven't seen that in Tannehill in a long time. So yeah,
Well, to prove your point, someone in Madden agrees with you because they had Will Levis ranked fifth in arm strength as far as the quarterback rankings. He had a 95 for arm strength. Malik Willis was right behind him at a 94. Tannehill was nowhere to be found on that list. And now now everybody knows I'm a resident Titans homer, but I want to give some flowers to Tannehill. Remember who was here before him? Marcus Mariota. Y'all been watching quarterbacks on Netflix. You see just how not only was he not effective on the field, he's an energy drainer. He sucked all the life out of me sitting on the couch watching that. He's just like,
They had to fast forward through his season. They're like, so anyways.
Right. How you get benched on there and it still wasn't riveting. That was messed up. But now we have Mr. Ruiz Jr. says, show some love to the Texans. They are moving up instead of moving down this season. Now it looks like
but when you start out with no wins, there's no way to go anywhere but up. Like.
So, Mr. Ruiz Jr., what are you saying? Are you saying that the Texans are what? They're going to win what? 7, 8 games? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Ruiz? Make sure you drop that in the comments. Mike, you look like you're about to laugh at that.
That was funny. No, I mean, when you have no wins and, you have to win a game. And when you win 2 games, you're moving up. So, they'll stay down there for a while.
Yeah.
But no, what I was saying is I would agree with you, though, on the Cousins thing. I didn't really know too much about Cousins. And I know
he's a tough SOB.
Stacy and I were talking, and I was like, I mean, he does all this work to be a mid quarterback.
He's not a mid quarterback. The man is probably top 12.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Top 12.
But I mean, that's mid, right? That's still mid, in my opinion. Like you could be number 11, number 12 quarterback out of what 30 something teams. So,
but Mike, look, I'm a fan of Kirk Cousins. Now, if it's not the Titans and not the Cowboys, I'm gonna be rooting for the Vikings this year, so that man can get a ring to put up in his little trophy room. Because I'm a fan of his now. Even as a Spartan, I'm a fan of his. But back to Tannehill. Now, remember how we struggled through the Mariota era. He comes in. We win back-to-back AFC South titles. We go to the AFC Championship game. He beats Lamar Jackson on the road. He beats Tom Brady on the road when he was still with the Patriots. Last year, he gets hurt. The Titans were 7-3 when he went down with an ankle injury, and they didn't win another game since then. I think we're being a little harsh on him because of one game. And that one game was one of his biggest moments against Cincinnati when he dropped the ball, went to bed, and cost us a win. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to win at least 7 to 8 games and made upgrades this year. They made upgrades this year. They did. But
he has Cowboy stuff on in his picture.
He does have Cowboys gear on. I want to come back to him at the end of the year because I want to give you your flowers, Mr. Ruiz, if they do win 8 games. And if they do win 8 games, that means that Mike was absolutely right. Tannehill was horrible, got benched, and they're starting to push the reset button. Now, Mike, let me ask you this. As far as where Hopkins, Tannehill, Henry, Jeffrey Simmons, Kevin Byard, they still got names on the team. Everybody's talking about Jacksonville. Nobody's talking about Tennessee. Does this move get them closer to Jacksonville, or do you still have Jacksonville as your preseason favorite?
No, I do. I mean, Hopkins is definitely a prime receiver to have, and you can literally throw him in the slot, and he's going to make something happen.
True.
So I still think that they move up when it comes to talent. I'm just a little – I don't know if Tannehill – I don't know how long Tannehill has it in him. And to your point about, they ended up losing games when he went out. I mean, they also didn't have a relevant backup, so it's like They didn't really plan for that. So,
true.
I mean, similar to the 49ers, right? I mean, They tried to plan for it, but they lost 3 quarterbacks. So, but if you don't have a relevant backup, then you have to plan for that. I honestly think if Levis gets in there, the sooner the better. I would start him probably around game 5.
Stop it, Mike. Game 5, we're trying to win a division title. And plus, Tannehill is playing for his job, for his livelihood this year. We know he's not coming back next year. There's no way Tennessee will re-sign him unless he takes him to the Super Bowl. And then he's going to be Kirk Cousins 2.0, keep going on one-year deals and get money that way. But let me put this out here on record. Yes, I defend Tannehill because I'm a sensitive Titans fan. However, I am ready to move on to the next phase. That includes moving on from Tannehill and Derrick Henry. You got to rip the scab off sooner rather than later. I'm just going to enjoy this last season with them both on the roster and kind of see how that falls. Now, who has the better wide receiving group now out of these two teams? We have, would you rather have Christian Kirk and Calvin Ridley in Jacksonville, or would you rather have D-Hop and Treylon Burks?
That's tough. I think they're different receivers, different receiver groups. I like Hopkins, so I'm gonna go with him. He's
And
just
Traylon Burks showed
explosive. He
flashes last
catches
year. He just
everything
gets
that you throw to him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with him.
Calvin Ridley hadn't been hit in 2 years after getting suspended all of last year for gambling on NFL games. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out because he's not coming off injury. And Christian Kirk what lived up to his contract last year in Jacksonville. Now, good morning, Tasha T. Sizzle, coming to us from the Dog Pound. She says Tennessee is the place wide receivers go to die with all caps in the die. Now,
Yeah.
for those who may not understand what she's talking about, if you want to go back to 1999 when the Titans first arrived in Nashville, we had Yancey Thigpen. He died. We had Carl Pickens, who was a stay. He died. We had Randy Moss picked him up off the waiver wire. He just crumbled over and died. We had Julio Jones 2 years ago. He died. Now, Kenny says, what's up, Tasha and Uncle Michigan Mike? Yeah, we got Michigan Mike back in the house. I'm with Mike on this one, though. DeAndre Hopkins is a different player. He's not at the end of his career. Last year in 9 games, he had 64 catches, 717 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That would have led the Titans. So, like, I think that
easy.
Right. Yeah, easily. Who had a Titan on their fantasy football?
No.
No, nobody. Right on. Your love is getting shown in the Dog Pound today. All right. Now, I'm going on record to say that the Tennessee Titans now are my favorite to win the AFC South. They will win the AFC South, and that's just how that's going to be. Mike, is it still Jacksonville in your opinion if you had to put money on it? If you had to bet RJ's college tuition, you taking the Titans or you taking the Jacksonville?
No, I'm gonna take the Titans because I think that Levis is gonna finish out the season.
Now, they're cutting up in his comments. All right, now he's Team Levis. Now, this was the same man last year that told us to beware of the Detroit Lions, and we kind of brushed him to the side, like, "Oh, that's cute, Mike. That's good." And they wound up being a monster and the division favorite in the North this year. So we shall see. You had a hot take last time. This time may be the same. Now, while the Titans got their man, the NFL made headlines this week for who didn't get a deal. And we're talking about the running back position. Mike, let me throw a nerd stat at you. And for all of you nerdies out there, this is something to chew on while we discuss this and dig a little deeper. Of all the franchise players that were tagged this year in the NFL, only 3 did not receive deals. All 3 were running backs, and all 3 running backs finished in the top 10 in rushing. So we're not talking about bums here. We're talking about the leading rusher in Josh Jacobs, the 4th leading rusher in Saquon Barkley, and Tony Pollard, who finished 9th. Now, we can also throw a 4th in there, Dalvin Cook. He's an unsigned free agent. He was top 10 in rushing as well. He does not have a deal. Now, last week, Mike, me and Tasha was going back and forth about Saquon. The Monday deadline hadn't approached yet. I said the Giants wouldn't give him a new deal. Tasha said that Saquon wouldn't sign the franchise tag. So we were both correct in that regard. Now we're at a stalemate. He just recently scrubbed the Giants from his social media platforms. Where do we go now? You're Agent Mike for Saquon. What are you advising him to do now?
I mean, you have to hold your guns at this point.
So you're saying what? Okay, he's not coming to training camp because he won't be fined for missing if he hadn't signed franchise. Only gets fined when regular season games start. You're saying sit out some regular season games?
I mean, historically, when running backs do that, they never come back the same. So I think he needs to be playing. I think that's hard. I think you have to play it out, and if you don't like where you're at, then find a new deal somewhere else after the season.
Okay, so you're going back to Le'Veon Bell. Well, there's 2 people who actually fit that profile. Before him, it was Melvin Gordon, who tried to hold out on San Diego at the time. They were the San Diego Chargers.
He just dropped off. It was like,
where is he now? I think he just signed a 1-year deal with Baltimore. He fell off the face of the earth, and they were right not to pay him. Yeah. Austin Eckler's a superstar. So, like, that didn't work out well for Melvin Gordon. Now, let's go to Le'Veon Bell. He was one of the top running backs, the top fantasy running back for 2 or 3 years running. When he decided to sit out the whole season, he turns around and goes to the Jets, and his career falls off. I think now he's kickboxing. or something like that, right? He's rapping and kickboxing and all kind of stuff. Now, Tasha, she says the league is finally telling running backs how they really feel about them. The days of Sanders, the Tomlins, the Smiths, etc., is gone. Mike, do you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that there's too close of talent from starting to a backup, and we're kind of seeing that. You could see that with the Cowboys, right? Like you saw that with starting, and like, wait,
Right,
this second string dude's kind of giving us more yardage per
right,
carry. Let's go
right,
ahead and put him in. Like
right,
you can do that.
right.
Yeah, that's an
And
easy transition.
right, and Tasha is right when she's saying finally tell him because this has been a slow trickle. The NFL reported that every franchise tag amount has gone up for every single position except the running back position. That's gone down
Yeah,
from 3 years ago. It's at $10 million, Mike. $10 million. Saquon can't get 10 million more than $10 million.
yeah,
Saquon he led the team in rushing. He was their top receiver with 57 catches. He was the whole offense was built around him last season. Anybody who watched the Giants game can tell you
and look
that.
where they finished. So
Yeah, well, they won a playoff game. They went into Minnesota and won a playoff game, and he still can't get his money. Like to Tasha's point, they're showing him how they really feel about him. Like, wow, bro, like you did, and then we're gonna turn around and give Daniel Jones $40 million. Daniel Jones had
yeah,
15 touchdowns. Mike, help me with this. Now you're saying that Saquon is gonna have to swallow his pride and play, right? Play under the 10 million.
yeah,
Do you
yeah. I
sit out
do.
any games to force the Giants' hand at all?
Yeah, I would sit out the max that you can. But by end of season, you have to be able to play.
Right, because if he doesn't show up by November, then his free agency resets and he'll be right back in the same spot he was now. So you definitely don't want to sit out the whole season. This is going to be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that works. Kenny Man says, Rand better pay the king. All I know is the fan base would be in an uproar. Now, he used uproar because he's a big Lil Wayne fan, and that's one of his big hits. I see what you did there, nephew. Do you think the Titans would be crazy enough to push King Henry to that point? He's on the final year of his contract as well. Do you think that he'll be in this spot next year? Look at Mike's face.
I mean, we've already been talking, about they should have traded him last year.
No, that was Wayne saying that. And where are you at, Wayne? So I can box you real quick. No, they had 1,500 yards rushing and 13 touchdowns with the worst offensive line in the NFL. Surely they wouldn't do it.
No, I mean, we're really going to see what the Titans can do or what they need this season.
Yeah.
Because if you can't keep running Henry like that, like
No,
man,
it's physically impossible
he's
for
a
him to
beast,
hold up.
yes, but at some point, I mean, you've seen in running backs, the running back lifespan in the NFL is not that long. So
No.
it's around that time for Henry. It's either give him a huge deal or you got to part ways.
Now, y'all look into the whites of my eyes right now when I say this. Do not give Derrick Henry a long-term deal after this year. Damn that. You franchise him, give him a 2-year with a team option, something around the $12 million mark, something just above the franchise tag. But as much as I'm being a hypocrite right now, no, I don't want us to do it either. We're gonna pull. We need to do them just like Saquon. Good morning, Mrs. Hastings. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Now, Mr. Ruiz says the NFL is becoming a dual running back league. Exactly, just like Mike was saying. You can have a star running back,
And the
but
Titans started that, right? So
right, the running back by committee. Like you can find some value at the running back position in the 5th, 6th round. We see it every year where
yeah.
players come out of nowhere and have great seasons. Let's move over to Josh Jacobs. He led the league in rushing for the Raiders last year. He got 4,700 yards and 40 touchdowns in his 4 years with the Raiders. They said, no dice, bro, no deal. What do you think that he should do?
Man, I think
That is true,
Josh.
Josh. You have to have a team at running back. You do. Go ahead, Mike.
I think Josh Jacobs has a bigger impact on the Raiders
Then Saquon on the Giants.
I think so, yeah. Because like I've seen games without. I mean, so like when you take Saquon out of the Giants, like they're still the Giants. They still have a lot of talent on defensive side,
Especially defense, yeah.
When you take Josh Jacobs, he's like taking out a receiver and a running back because he's great catching it out of the backfield.
And Mike, just to back up your point, he had over 400 yards receiving. The man had 2,000 yards from scrimmage last year.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
go
has
ahead.
less miles on him too than
Right.
Saquon does. Less injuries, things like that. So if I was
Played
Josh,
17 games last
I
year.
would hold out. I would hold out.
So when you say hold out, you mean what? Miss a game because he hadn't signed his
Yeah,
franchise
yeah,
tag
miss
yet.
a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it because of Garoppolo? Does that give him more leverage? The fact that Garoppolo
Oh
is the
yeah,
quarterback.
100%. It does. Yeah, because Raiders don't know what they're doing right now, so they're like, I don't know. And then so he's like, all right, cool. You don't want to pay me? I'm gonna sit out here then. Like, what
How
does
do
he
you
have
not?
to lose, right?
What? Yeah, right. What does he have to lose other than some hits on his knees and his
Right.
Achilles and his ankles? Um, Wait a minute. Look, Ark, is that who I think it is? One Damian Coulter with his Titans gear on in the profile picture. He says nothing running backs can do until the new collective bargaining agreement comes in around 6 or 7 years. I'll be 30 then.
Yeah. 30.
They need to change it to 3 years, and then you're up for a
Nah,
new
that ain't gonna
deal.
change. I'm telling you. The
Now,
only thing that's changing this, is if the talent in the quarterback position goes down.
and that's
Because
not
right
going to
now it's a
happen,
quarterback league, and yeah, unless we see that, which might be 6 or 7 years from now.
right?
Well, that's a
No, no.
long time.
Now, here's the last sentence is what I really want to get to. If I'm a running back, he said they need to change it to 3 years, and then you're up for a new deal. The way it's currently structured is that if you're taken in the first round, like these running backs were, you're going to be on a 4-year deal with a team option for the 5th year. If you're a great court or running back, they'll franchise you for that 5th year, keep you for another year, and then go draft another running back to take your place after that, and just let you walk because now you're like 30 years old. If you're Bijan Robinson and you haven't signed your deal with the Falcons yet, you might want to read Damian's last line here. Nope, give me a 3-year. Give me one of those NBA LeBron deals. Give me 3 years,
Yeah,
front loaded with guaranteed money because I know you're not
right.
going to keep me past year 5. Um,
Mhm.
what running back would have the leverage to do that? Do you think Bijan carries enough cachet to do that on a rookie deal?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I
that's
think
a great
so too.
running
That's
back.
a good point.
Yeah,
I think so
yeah.
too. Kenny said, did y'all see the beautiful Oilers jerseys? I need one. I'm going to get one. I'm sure your father, aka my brother, has one
That Henry
as
one looked dope.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I like that Love You Blue. And nothing will make me feel better than hosting the Houston Texans in our Oilers colors with D Hop on there, killing the Texans. Give me that one. I will pay for the Sunday ticket just to see that. Now, Mike, Dalvin Cook, he's been one of the most consistent running backs in the league the last 4 years. He's never had less than 1,000 yards. He's been a beast up there in Minnesota, but he's been overshadowed because they haven't gone far in the playoffs. He's currently without a deal. Given the landscape of everything that we've seen happen, with all of these running backs, if you are Dalvin Cook's agent Mike, are you telling him to just, hey, let's just try to get a ring. Let's just hold out and see if the Chiefs or somebody wants to take us for a couple of $1 million? Or do you go to a boo-boo team, though whoever gives you the most money? What do you do? Because you're not getting $10 million.
yeah. I'm going for the ring. I'm pulling the NBA style, and it's like, okay, cool. Like, let's see some of these other teams. Let's see if the Eagles want us. Like,
Right. Think about it. If you're Dalvin Cook and they can fit you under the cap at maybe $3 million plus incentives, why not go to the Chiefs? Why not
yeah,
go to the Dolphins? You know what I'm saying? Well, the
winning is
Jets.
fun. Let's go do it. Let's go have some fun.
Let's go have some fun. Let me get a ring and then let me go on about my business. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm him, D Hop, let's just keep it real. D Hop took the money. He took the bag. He's not playing for a championship because the Titans ain't championship contenders.
There you go.
Don't do that. Look,
you
see,
you
Mike is slick. He'll get in my inbox and say, I'm here for you, Paul. Whenever you're ready to concede that your boys ain't it, I'm here for you. Like a real friend, I'm here for you, brother. Just, you're in the 5 stages of grieving.
Yeah, there you go.
We
Let it
blew it
out.
in
Let it out.
2021 when we lost to the Bengals. We blew it. We had the number 1 seed. Oh, no. And we lost to the Bungles. The
Uh,
Bungles. We had 9 sacks that game, Mike. I ain't never going to forgive Tannehill for that. Ever. Ever. I'm only rooting for him, man, because I want to beat Jacksonville, all right? Let's just keep this. Let's
you
just
can
be.
do that with the backup. I'm telling you.
I hope Will Levis is what you say he is, because I'm sending a Will Levis jersey to your house, way out there in beautiful McKinney. So So Damian says you got to wait until the new CBA. That's 6 or 7 years from now. That doesn't help anybody in the draft or
Nope.
in the NFL now. Do you think it's even more dire than that? Do you think that the new CBA can fix it? Do you think that the CBA? Do you think the players union will even try to fight for more money for the running backs?
No, I mean, because it comes down to talent. Like I was saying, like there's too close of a talent and the too many running backs out there that have similar talent. I mean, of course, you have your Derrick Henry, you can't really replace. But there's too close of talent. I mean, look at Robinson coming out through college. Like he's already a top running back. Like,
right. And he said the Titans got everything they need. I'm going to fall on Tim Kelly and Rob. That's it. That's it, Kenny. Look at him with Jeffrey. Oh my God. Jeffrey Simmons, don't you ever wear a blue jean vest and some cutoff shorts again out in public ever again in your life. Kenny, you wrong for posting that. The man is going to have 2 sacks this year because of that damn picture. All right. So this is the harsh reality of the situation as we bring this topic to a close. Until a running back carries their team all season, runs for 2,500 yards, carries their team through the playoffs, and becomes Super Bowl MVP and holding up the MVP trophy, the running back market ain't gonna reset. Look what Patrick Mahomes, and he's the one that started this. Mahomes and Burrow and all of them. Think about it. Mahomes, they drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. He wasn't even on the roster when they won that Super Bowl. He was somewhere on IR somewhere. They had Isaiah Pacheco from Rutgers, a 7th-round pick, running the ball in the Super Bowl.
And looked like an all-star out there.
It was mowing through people. Think about that. Philly, they let Miles Sanders go. He accounted for 35% of their offense last year. They was like, all right, we'll holler at you. They picked up DeAndre.
So anyways.
Right, so running backs, hey, if your son was a running back in high school, would you convince him to change positions?
Oh, absolutely. I'm like, nah, you're going to be an edge rusher on this one.
Holla at your boy. Yes. Edge rushers get paid just as Big Jeff. Okay. All right. Now, sticking with the running backs and sticking with the king, I saw something very disrespectful on ESPN.com this week, Mike. And don't be grinning, Mike. Don't be grinning. This ain't funny. So this is the time of year where ESPN does their annual top 10 list by position. They've done the quarterbacks, they've done the receivers, and they just did the running backs. Well, when I looked at the running back list had the king of all running backs, Derrick Henry, listed 5th. Now, just for transparency purposes, the list that they had was number 1, Nick Chubb. Number 2, Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey. Number 3 was Josh Jacobs. Number 4 was Saquon. Number 5 was Derrick Henry. Is this fair or foul, Mike, that Henry has been dropped down to number 5 after being number 1 last year?
I think that's absolutely foul. And I even saw some rankings that they had him at 6, and I was like, ooh.
Thank you for not sharing that with me because I'm trying to regulate my blood pressure right now. So
I don't see that. I don't see how he's that low. He's been performing. I think because they're still afraid that the Titans might run him into the ground.
No, there ain't no light to it. They are like, this is it.
And I think that's where they're at. I think people are cautious to put him at a top ranking because they're like, man, I don't know if you're going to be able to finish this season.
Is the fact that he's 29, does that play a factor?
I mean, it always plays a factor, right? Age always plays a factor. Yeah, absolutely.
Does the fact that he's not what you would call a threat in the receiving game play a factor? Because
yes.
I will listen to that argument.
Yes, especially since
put McCaffrey ahead of him.
We were just talking about how it's more of a quarterback game, right? So if it's more of a quarterback game, then you're going to have to get receivers that go out for receiving yards, right? So yeah, that plays a factor too, but that's not his game though, right?
No.
So
he had a career high in receptions on screens, and I think it was like 17 last year. Although he will take a screen to the house on your ass though. He will go 70.
I do not want to see, as a linebacker, I do not want to see Derrick Henry on a screen pass. I'm like, no.
Can you imagine the right tackle and the right guard pulling in his direction, and he steps back, catches that screen, and he's getting ahead of steam as he gets to the second level.
And you see his helmet above the guard's head. Like, nah.
Right. So, Mike, who is the best running back in the NFL heading into this season?
If we're talking about consistency, I would say Chubb for sure. He's just been.
So you're okay with Chubb being number one?
Yeah, I'm okay with Chubb. Yeah, the rest of my top five, I definitely have Derrick Henry at the top. I would say top three, not one, right?
Top three and not one. I can handle that, but five. Come on, man. Come on. Who do you have at number two?
Man, everyone has Christian McCaffrey, and I had Christian McCaffrey on my fantasy team until he got hurt, and then that year after he was like, man, I was like,
but
man,
in San Francisco, they know how to devise plays for the running back.
I do like how San Francisco knows how to not run their running back into the ground, and he's like, I'm cool with this. So I would put Christian McCaffrey on this one, and my fifth spot I have between Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, I forgot about him.
And then I like the young buck. I like Robinson, actually. I think he's gonna have a stellar year.
Now, D, of course, with his fantasy stats he says only Eckler and CMC have more receiving yards than Henry at the running back position. Look at Davey going into the vault. So, see, this is the Titans news you need to feed you and your seed. Henry number one, damn it. And you know what? And the reason why, Mike, is because of the fact that we said that he may get less receiving opportunities, but his normally are schemed up to go to the house. He had a couple of 70-yard screens last year.
I'm telling you, if you put Levis in there, he's going to get more receiving yards.
Look, I'm ready for Levis, but it's just not right now. Remember the conversation we had about McNamara versus JJ? And I kept saying JJ, and you was like, chill, Pete. We going to get him in there. Now, it just so happened it worked out in both of our favors. McNamara beat Ohio State and won the Big Ten. And then we got the transition, and JJ picked up the baton and kept it rolling. Hopefully the same thing happens in Nashville. Hopefully Tannehill gets us to the AFC South title. But that's my goal for this year.
But you also said you also picked Tannehill over Brady. So,
well, who's still in the league? And why are you bringing that up? That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. Tannehill at that time was balling. And Austin Eckler is in my top five, actually. My top five at the running back position is King Henry, Run CMC, Saquon, Nick Chubb, and then Austin Eckler is in my five. Did y'all see them Kroger Do colorways by the Colts? Oh, man. Mike, did you see those colorways by the Colts at blue on blue?
Nope.
They look like the Smurfs. I'll make sure I find that picture and send that over to you. All right, so we're both in agreement that the NFL totally disrespected King Henry. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Yep. Now, time for you to make some enemies, Mike, because you know that this subject always gets you in hot water on this show. So let's just go ahead and turn the stove on.
Okay.
SEC Media Days has just concluded in the beautiful city of Nashville, Tennessee. And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, we're going to do a deep dive into the conference because I have 5 burning questions for Michigan Mike regarding the SEC. Now, Mike, let me give you a bonus question just to start this off before we get into the preview of this conference. Mm-hmm. The SEC's mantra is where winning matters more. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't believe that. No. I mean, why would I believe that?
Why wouldn't you believe it is the question, Mike.
Oh, because they won the last, 5 championships?
Something like that. No, we're not keeping count, but something like that. I mean, something like that.
No, I don't believe that. I think they've definitely had, in the past years, they've definitely had a head start on recruiting that's definitely put NFL players where they're at. And I think in the other conferences now they're starting to catch up, specifically like the Big Ten. You start seeing a lot more Big Ten players in the NFL. I'm not saying taking away SEC championships away from them, but it's definitely a lot closer than what it used to be. And I know, of course, the TCU game, but I'm also looking at the Ohio Georgia game too. You know, that was like
right.
what, 1 point?
They were a shanked field goal away from being in the championship game against TCU. So it would have been a non-SEC title game had Ohio State's kicker not got the yips. So to your point, I mean, really though, I mean, Ohio had them on the ropes. They had a chance to win the game and they blew it on the kick. So okay, so you're not buying that. All right. Well, let's get into question number one. Mike has. Let me get the whites of your eyes up here on this one, so we can see. We right there. We Mike, has Nick Saban lost his fastball? Is Kirby Smart the new top dog in the SEC?
Um, I don't think he lost it. Of course, it's Saban, right? He could have taken the last couple of years off just to be like, okay, well,
Right, he
I'm
had
gonna let
that much of a lead on everybody else, right?
I'm gonna let all the other kids play, right? I also think that the transfer portal, NIL deals kind of
Yes,
evened out a little bit of stuff.
it did.
And I think Saban's just now getting the rules of the game that he's now playing, the new game. Yeah, I don't think I think he still has it. I absolutely. I mean, that's why he's what the top. I think they put Alabama at like the top 4 or whatever. So they're still a favorite to be in the playoffs.
And as well, they should be. Now, being slow to change is not new to Nick Saban. I remember when the college football started going away from the Derrick Henry type offense that Alabama had run for so many years because they had Josh Jacobs, they had Derrick Henry, they had all those different running backs that they would just shuffle through and be Heisman candidates. When other conferences started airing it out and going with the 5-star quarterbacks, it took Saban a little while to start bringing in the Julio Joneses of the world and some of those top flight receivers. And eventually he did buy into the new wide open, spread the field, wide receiver laden game, and he still excelled. Maybe it's the same deal with the SEC in regard to the NIL and transfer portal. Maybe he was a little stuck in his ways at first when teams like Tennessee, LSU, they were all jumping on it and getting good. They were caught by surprise last year with Tennessee's offense, and a lot of those players were paid well by the NIL and got through the transfer portal. So we shall see. I don't know if say I don't think Saban has lost his fastball, but if he don't beat Georgia this year, then we got to give it up to Kirby as the new king on the hill. You can't be on top forever, right?
Well, Bama has a lot of teams to beat this year. And this is before you get a Texas and an OU coming through.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
not saying that they're gonna come through and immediately start beating the premier SEC teams, but I'm saying if Alabama historically struggles with an A&M, I'm talking about like every other year they lose to the Aggies.
pretty much, yeah.
And Texas has been better than A&M historically, then I mean, you got to throw another wrench in there. So he has to beat an LSU who randomly beats Alabama. You have an A&M that randomly beats Alabama. So you got
And
all
a
these
lot of people are picking LSU to win the West
Tennessee's
this
coming
year.
up. So
Yeah.
man, yeah, he got to step it up now. So
I'm glad you brought up Texas A&M because you just walked me into question number 2 of our 5 burning questions for the SEC. Is Jimbo Fisher on the hot seat after a 5-7 year last year?
yeah, he has to be. Like I said before, like this is without even putting in your top rival. Like we're bringing this back, and you're struggling before that's even started. So I would say 100%.
Now, Davey says, nope, Alabama won 10 games last year. What is happening is Saban is being compared to Belichick right now. But that's rightfully so, though. He should be held to
Yeah,
those type of
that's
standards.
fair.
That,
Yeah,
that's yeah, that's a fair comparison. So Damien, are you saying that winning 10 games that could put you on the level of Michigan, who won 10 games the last couple of years but didn't win any titles?
right.
We want more. And if you're Alabama, I don't know if 10 games is going to be enough. But Damien
Nope.
says no. Alabama hadn't lost their fastball. They're right there where they need to be. Jimbo Fisher's making a lot of money. They
Oh
have one of
yeah,
the highest NIL payrolls of any school in college football, and it's not producing on the field. Why is that, Mike? What's going on down there?
it's the coaching. As soon as they signed him to a large deal, I was like, why'd they do that for? Like he's
You did,
very.
to your
We've
credit, you
seen
did question that.
we've seen this happen to where these older coaches, and I'm saying not even age, I'm saying like older football mindset
Mm-hmm.
coaches aren't transitioning their football game. And we saw that at Michigan, right, with our defensive
Right,
coordinators. And I'm
right,
like, what are y'all doing? Like, we got to make
right,
adjustments.
right.
I think he isn't making adjustments, the right adjustments, and it's costing them for sure.
5-7.
That's
Five and
unacceptable.
seven, you got to roll, and I'm paying you $90 million.
Mm-mm.
No, man, you got to roll. What saves his job this year? Where's the baseline floor for him keeping his job? How many wins? 10, 11? Does he have to win the West? Playoff berth? What?
No, I would say 9 or 10 wins, beating some major home games, winning those games, like getting the fans back into it.
Right.
That's a hard. I mean, I don't think they've sold out in a while, and it's usually if they
No.
do, it's a major team coming in to
Right.
College
Like
Station.
Alabama. Right.
Right. So, I mean, you got to win those games. You got to get the fans back into it. I say 9 or 10 wins keeps his job.
Wow, that's going to be a tough pill because they finished sixth
Yeah.
in the SEC. And you brought up earlier Texas and Oklahoma. If you're on the board of regents at Texas A&M and you got Arch Manning coming in to the SEC with Texas, there's no way in hell that Texas team is going to be last in the SEC, whether you put them in the East or the West. So if Texas comes in and is immediately better than you in the standings, that'll get moms fired. You know what I'm saying? Like that, Texas A&M can't stand for that. So Jimbo, I hope y'all get it turned around. But when I'm looking at the tiers of the East and the Western Conference, I just don't see where they get ahead of LSU, Alabama, Georgia, or Tennessee. I just don't see them getting ahead of any of those teams. So it may be night for the Aggies.
Night
Hey,
night.
would you make a play for Dion if you fire him this year?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Dion fan.
Yes, sir. You don't make a deal
Absolutely.
for prime time.
Let's get some recruits in here. Let's go.
I love me some Deion Sanders. All right. Now, Mike, be nice on this one. My mama's a UT alum. Mike, can Joe Milton, someone that you've seen up close and personal, keep the hot-powered offense of UT rolling? No, don't you? No, where you going? Come back here. He need to sip on some water before this run.
Man. You're right. I've seen him since day one for his college career. And
Because he started in Michigan, for those who don't know. He transferred to UT after a dismal 2020 season.
And he definitely has the arm strength. Obviously, we've seen that arm strength. The accuracy and playing against top defenses. Man, I think that's a tough one. I mean, he's obviously proven himself though last season. I mean, Tennessee can do it. They have enough talent to spar with the top in the SEC.
And I think he's in the right system for that now.
Yeah. I think they could. I think they could do it. Yeah.
Now they averaged like 46, 47 points a game last year. You think with Milton under center, they could still keep up that type of potency?
Yeah, I think they can. Where I would question it is if it's a tight game and he has to make a last-minute drive to win the game.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put my money on that one. No.
But here's the thing, Mike. Like me and you have a different perspective because we saw him. Michigan had their first losing season since the Rich Rod era when he was the quarterback before he transferred out and they brought in McNamara and things, of course, turned around post-COVID. But when he was at the Manning Academy this summer, they said that he wowed people and that a lot of scouts are saying that he has first-round potential this year. Now, Josh Heupel. Now, he had Hendon Hooker in the Heisman race. Really, Mike? Really?
First round? Come on, man. We saw the quarterbacks drop through first round this past time. I don't think that's come on. Who said that? Send me their name.
Network. I was watching Media Days on Friday.
Of course, SEC Network said that on an SEC player on an SEC network that's ESPN.
Oh, okay. So you saying they was doing like the cat when the cat rub up against your ankle?
Yeah, look at all that propaganda. He's a first rounder. What are you talking about?
Right. The man has a cannon for an arm. They said he can throw an orange the whole length of the football field. That ain't enough for you?
Yeah, that'll be good for a Gatorade commercial.
I want to leave that up there for a minute because he said Jimbo should be out if they got rid of Sumlin after going 7-5. I totally agree with that.
Man, I liked Sumlin too.
I like Sumlin. He had a toughness about him that team does not have now. I mean, Johnny Manziel was not – he got Johnny the Heisman that year, and he went 2-1 against Alabama for all of that's worth. Mike, I'm rooting for JoJo.
I am too.
JoJo.
I think he can do it. I just haven't seen enough games to where he has last minute drives, things like that. That's the only thing I have questions about.
Here's my question: you got to play Alabama and Tuscaloosa. You have to play Georgia and you have to play Florida this year. Are they going to really beat those three teams again? I don't know. And they didn't even beat Georgia last time, but they get them at home this year. That's a tough road to go to get to the SEC championship game. If they didn't have to play Bama and Georgia every year, I would give them more of a chance. But that's going to be tough. All right, next question, Mike. Are Florida and Auburn still elite programs in your opinion?
No.
Is this one of your next questions?
Next question.
All right.
No. So no. So before the AT&T game that Michigan and Florida played in, we were supposed to align like on the same level as Florida, right? So Michigan and Florida, we dropped around the same time. We were supposed to come up around the same time.
Correct.
Top recruits, they were coming through 4 more years or whatever it was. So we're all supposed to head up to this game.
Right.
And after that game, Florida hasn't been relevant. I mean, they weren't even relevant since, it's been a while. So,
since Tebow and them.
Yeah. Yeah. And shout out to that 30 for 30 or whatever Netflix documentary that's coming out.
Hey, Netflix has been putting together some serious sports documentaries over the last year. They give them 30 for 30 a run for their money now. Those the Malice in the Palace and the
American Gladiators was good.
The American Gladiators was phenomenal. It was better than the 30 for 30, I thought. They're doing their thing. I'm gonna say no and no. Who the hell plays for Auburn? But like you had a one hit wonder, a meteor that came through in Cam Newton. That was in what 2011.
That's over 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a long time ago. Auburn, I don't see people checking for you like that. And you know that Auburn is falling off because they have those Jefferson Pilot games. When you're on Jefferson Pilot like 11:30 a.m. on a Saturday, and nobody can find that station because it's on ESPN Plus. That's Auburn now. They're not playing on them night games anymore. So I don't know. We shall see. All right. And my fifth question for you, Mike, your preseason prediction on who plays in the SEC championship game this year.
Well, the easy bet is Georgia, Alabama, right?
But Mike, that's too easy though, is it? Or is it too easy?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in a wrench here. I'm gonna go Georgia versus LSU.
I'm going Tennessee and LSU. I think it's going to be a complete revamping of the SEC this year. I think JoJo gets it done. And I don't even think it's so much JoJo. I think somebody else clips up Georgia and Alabama. You can't keep winning forever.
Hey, what if SEC just to your point, just mixes it all up, and we get 2 teams in the championship SEC game that have like 3-4 losses.
Mike, that's not gonna happen. Mike,
man, that's not an SEC in the playoffs.
Mike, that might happen on your two.
LSU beats this person, but this team beats LSU, and then kind of like the old school Big 12, to where they're we don't know who to put in. Let's put this team in.
It makes for good drama. But Mike, where are the 4 losses on Georgia's schedule? The SEC doesn't schedule non-conference.
Well, aren't they playing Kentucky West Tech or whatever?
Right. They're playing Fisk University. They're playing UT Hallelujah and all them kind of north directional schools. The SEC, by and large, doesn't schedule outside of the South. They never go west. They never go to Big Ten country to play a hostile road game. You'll never see. I think Alabama is going to play Texas pretty soon. Well, of course if they're in the same division, but they're not coming to the big house. Georgia ain't coming to the big house and playing and nothing like that. So,
Texas is. Texas just signed a deal.
Right, but that was Big 12 Texas. Now,
oh no, you got to change.
Okay, so that's do you like it?
I would do an all black. I do an all black instead of that blue.
Just an all black, like the Omen. Now, Kenny says this is so Michigan. Mike can see the jersey. I'm definitely changing it after this, so Mike can see the trash Kroger jersey. He called it a Kroger jersey. Have you ever seen a Kroger jersey? Kroger. Now in Nashville, they have the tight jerseys in there.
Little fake vinyl jerseys.
Right, to scratch up your back. Like if you gotta wear 3 t-shirts under it.
Yeah, they're like 60% off. And I'm like, what?
Right. They spell Vince Young, Y-U-N-G. Where's the O?
But yeah, they put the JUNG like it's a Ranger player. Like what?
Nobody look. It's the thought that counts. But if you're gonna go to Kroger to get my birthday present, don't make it a jersey. Just give me a gift card and let me buy some
Just
groceries
give
out
me
of
a
there.
gift card. Yeah.
Right, just give me a gift card. Let me buy some groceries out of there. So you saying LSU and Georgia? I'm gonna go Tennessee
Yeah.
and Georgia, and I mean Tennessee and LSU. But I'm subject to change my mind after the first month of the season. Now, all right, can we put that caveat? This is our preseason prediction. Once we get a month in, we'll get our real predictions
Okay, that's
as
fair.
that goes. Now, with no T Sizzle on board today, Mike, you step into the role of the top 5 closer. So, Michigan Mike, your top 5 SEC programs. The floor is yours.
Oh man, yeah, put that up there because y'all know I don't know too much about the SEC. So I'm gonna go, and we're talking about all time,
Look, well, however you want to do
or
it.
just
It
like
could be this
okay.
year, all time, just your top 5 programs.
I'm gonna go the most relevant in the past years. I'm gonna go obviously Georgia, Alabama on the top 2. You can
Okay.
switch them around however you
Right.
want.
Right.
I'm gonna go LSU because I kind of grew up with LSU having that swagger in the night games, and
Yes.
I like
Yes.
that.
When them in Alabama were
Um,
always called the game.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go Tennessee, just going off of historics. I liked seeing Manning out there
Right.
and being just setting the whole quarterback. I think they started the whole quarterback. Like, oh man, they're like geniuses. That's a
Right.
genius
Right.
position.
Right. Peyton
That's
was
a
a bad
that's a
boy.
smart guy, and especially basketball, women's basketball, things like that. So
And
I'm
the
gonna
men's
shout
is
out to
starting to come around
Tennessee.
too.
Yeah. The 5th spot is tough because then
That's
you
where
got
I
a
got
whole
stuck.
bunch.
Because right now
If
we
you
got the
got
same 4.
if you go historically, I'm gonna go with Florida, just what they did. You also have to look at the craziness that happened off the field, which is we're gonna see on that Netflix
Right. They
one.
got murderers and pastors all in the same
Yeah,
locker room.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with Florida on that one.
Mike, we had the same top 5. I had Bama, Georgia, LSU, Florida, and Tennessee. And the only reason why I put Florida ahead of Tennessee is because their record is 18-2 against them in the last 20 years.
That's
So
fair.
Tennessee ahead of them as far as my projections for how they'll finish this year. But overall, I just went overall. I got Florida ahead of Tennessee. They won one more title since Tennessee in '98. But yeah, good job, Mike. It was very objective there. I was wondering how objective you could be and not just say none of them or that they're all trash or whatnot or
Nah,
whatever.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
All right. So for the people who may have missed the first segment when we were talking about D Hop to the Titans, Mike, give me a record for now. We're gonna do our countdown to kickoff, and we'll get more deep into the
Okay.
AFC South race as we preview them as a division. But what do you think this does for how many games on the plus side does this give Tennessee having D Hop?
Like 2?
Yeah, I'm thinking 2. I'm thinking he could take a 7-9 season and turn it into a 9-7 season or 9-8 or something like
Right.
that, 10-7. I'm thinking we win 10 games. Mike is saying Tannehill will be gone before Halloween. As long as Levis comes in and balls out, he can come in week 1 for all I care. I just want to win and I just want to beat Jacksonville. I can't stand the thought of the Jaguars being better than my Titans. Mike, who you shouting out this week?
Now I'm gonna shout out our Cameron. He's gonna be 16 on Sunday. Give him a shout
Happy
out.
birthday, Cameron. Uh-oh. Oh, he at that age now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta lock that window.
And then I'm gonna give a shout out to I didn't realize, and I put it on our chat. I didn't realize that Michigan and Notre Dame finally agreed to do a rivalry again. So shout out to Notre Dame from coming out from the closet.
Right. Okay. And to take these L's like you've been taking.
Yeah,
And
come on
I
now.
want to give a shout out to Michigan Mike, first of all, for holding down and doing the top 5. But we were actually at the last game that Michigan won in the big house against Notre Dame. The
Yeah,
chicken song, right?
yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
was
Shouts
in.
out to the
Yeah,
big house.
yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Jamie Foxx. The man, look, over the last, 6 months, they told us he was dead. They told us he was paralyzed. They told us he was blind. They told us that he was
Jeez.
cloned. Wasn't he cloned last week, 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago? He finally did an Instagram live that I saw this morning before the show where he kind of dispelled all those rumors and said that that he thanked his family for not like leaking his information. He didn't want us to see him down and bad like that. That he's not blind. It wasn't a COVID shot. It wasn't paralyzed, anything like that. He had a medical emergency, and that he thanks us for his thoughts and prayers, and that he will be back and better than ever. So shouts out to Jamie Foxx for not being a clone, and for you clowns on social media that'll do anything for a like. Shame on you. Also want to give a shout out to all of my fantasy footballers out there. I know y'all starting to get them emails that it's time for a new season.
Yep, I'm like, hey.
Y'all, I'm fired up. I'm ready. So congratulations and good luck to everybody who will be preparing for their draft. Mike, you got a draft date set for us yet?
Yeah, it's up there. I usually do it like a week before the first game comes out.
Okay, all right. He said he showed you this so we can see Hop in the Oilers jersey. I think I'm gonna get a D-Hop jersey. Hell, he can't do no worse than Julio Jones did, and the rest of those
That's
over
true.
the hill wide receivers that came through. So we shall see. What next week, y'all, starts our official countdown to kickoff where we preview each division. We start on the West Coast. We're going to do the AFC West and the NFC West, starting with the champion Kansas City Chiefs, and then we're going to work our way back to the East, and we'll do the East the week of the college football starts. So, hey, it's football from here on out. Look at Mike. Mike is like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm ready.
All right, so it's countdown to kickoff from here until kickoff. And you know what we do. We'll see y'all in 6 days and about 23 hours. Until then, peace and go blue.
Go blue.